Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. So it's your boy Mondo. On today's episode we're doing something a little bit different. I'm actually not at my shop. We are kind of stranded. So my buddy Joaquin, he has this badass project that he's been building for a while now. I think he said he's going on 2 years. So it's a 32 Studebaker, I believe. I'm not sure, but it's a bucket style car. He dropped the body on top of a C5 Corvette. So I'll actually show you guys right now. It's just a little bit dark, but check it out. It's pretty fucking cool. It's actually the only rat rod I've worked on. The other one wasn't gonna be a rat rod. Obviously never got to record that video on that car I was talking about, but check it out. So like I said, he's been building this car for 2 years. We spent all day yesterday trying to get it to run. So we had some problems with the wiring. As you guys saw, there's a lot of wiring on this. That we have an aftermarket harness and everything. It wasn't PSI, it wasn't painless. So we've been trying to figure out where everything goes. Unfortunately, there was no real diagrams with it. So as you guys can see, that's all the wiring. We've been trying to clean up as much as we can. And unfortunately right now, we were test driving it and we hit a bump and one of those wires grounded out. So obviously that's why you see that red light. It's just telling us that we have a blown fuse. So yeah, we chased all the wiring yesterday. We finally got power to the ECU. We got it running. So I did lose about all day trying to get it running. And right now we do have another problem. The IAT sensor is reading fairly low. So it tells me we're ready to replace it with a new one because that was the easiest route. And it still doesn't read. So we have some kind of open in the wiring harness to the IAT. So for you guys that don't know what IAT is, it's in an air temp. And that's this sensor right here. So that sensor right there tells us the temperature of the air. And the problem with these cars is when you have a bad sensor or an open on the sensor, wiring and all that goes to that, it tricks the computer into going into minus 38 degrees. So the problem with that is these computers tend to add a lot of fuel because it thinks it's saying air degrees in the air temp and at minus 38. So it obviously requires a lot more fuel than our average temperature of 100 Fahrenheit in the intake. So we're adding a ton of fuel. And the thing is, I'm debating whether I should correct for it so we can run it and make it to the show on Saturday, or if I should go ahead and just leave it as is and have him limp it to the show. It's still in the air. I'm still trying to decide what I'm gonna do. But so far it was running fairly smooth. Car never died on us until we had that sensor blowout, which is unfortunately it's actually the sensor that goes to the ECU. So I hope we didn't damage the ECU. But yeah, other than that, I will keep you updated once we get back to his shop. He did run down there for another fuse. So we are 2 blocks away from the shop. So yeah, kind of sketchy out here. I'm all by myself. Well, yeah, I will see you guys when we get back to the shop. In the meanwhile, here's a video of it driving. Dude, honestly, it drives pretty fucking smooth for being a shit rat rod. Like, not just that, dude, for having like a bad IAT and running that much fuel, like it doesn't die, it doesn't do anything. All right, guys, so we did make it back to the shop. That's a good thing. So let's check it out now that we are in lighting. So it is an LS1. I can't remember the specs on the cam. It was a BFD, you said?
Yeah, BFD. Yeah.
It's the BFD from Texas Speed. It was made for Cletus, I believe, for his C5. So there you go. I don't know, you want to start it for the people on YouTube, or should we just
See what happens.
we'll let them see? You can shut it off, dude. Okay, so like I was mentioning earlier, the inlet air temp sensor acts up, and the reason it was idle like this is because it was still in open loop. Once it goes into closed loop, the O2s kick in and corrects for the fueling, so it doesn't run it as rich. So right now we're relying on those O2s. So cold start and all that startup is gonna run a little rough. So I told them to just let it idle for a bit, let those O2 kick in, and once they kick in, should be good to go. So this is just a base map. This won't be seeing the dyno until we get all the electrical bugs figured out. Once all that's figured out, should be going straight to the dyno. Obviously we have a few, well, he has a few car shows to make, so I'm hoping it gets there in one piece, which it will. It's getting towed up to Phoenix Thursday. Yeah, so the boys up in Phoenix are going to go through, do all rest of the wiring, titty it up, get it nice and running, and then I'll see it back after that, because we have, well, he has another show to make December what?
4th.
The 4th of December. It's Fuel Fest, so you guys are, if any of you guys are going to that, make sure to look for this car. Other than that, this will end today's video. Joaquin, you have anything to tell them?
Not damn thing. Let's just hope it runs and drives.
So he is the owner of this badass ride. So once again, thank you guys for stopping in, and I will see you next week.